Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. Well, it's around Easter time, and you know what that means? A lot of movies about a certain furry, long-eared, buck-toothed bunny rabbit who has a thing for eggs. I'm of course talking about Jesus. Yeah, this is the time when a lot of Christ films start making the rounds. The funny thing about Jesus movies, before they actually became funny things, is when it comes to Christmas, they're usually shared with other Christmas-type movies. You know, about Santa Claus, or family togetherness, or helping the poor and hungry get work. But that's not how Easter works. Easter is prominently Jesus' cinematic time to shine, whether for better or Gibson. I don't really have a problem with this, as a lot of these movies hold up pretty well, many of them cinematic classics. But it is strange that one of the most popular holiday mascots doesn't have many cinematic movies about him. There's plenty of TV specials and maybe an occasional appearance here or there, some more balls to the wall insane than others. Note to self, must add to queue. But entire films based on one of our favorite breaking and entering icons are surprisingly far and few. Well, I'm not putting up with it anymore. That's why today, we're going on our own Easter Bunny adventure. The 2011 Illumination film Hop was a big hit at the box office and continues to be one of the dominant Easter movies whenever the subject is brought up. Just Google Easter movie and it's literally the first film to appear. There's a few reasons for this. 1, it was a big budget Easter Bunny movie. 2, it was a well advertised Easter Bunny movie. And 3, it is the only Easter Bunny movie, at least with a big budget and was well advertised. Many families rent this bowl of rabbit droppings, confusing it for Cocoa Puffs, and convince themselves they're enjoying chocolate when really they're swallowing shit. It lacks any kind of imagination, wonder, and creativity that would be associated with such a timeless icon. So of course, we're gonna look at it here today. This is Hop. So how long before there's an egg pun in this movie? Literally the first frame! Even Egghead needs a few moments to set up. Not even a minute in and we already have bunny boobies. I expected more from the director of Garfield 2, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas. Oh God, this is gonna suck! We get a brief glance of the Easter bunnies of the past, and I already want to know more about them than the Thumper equivalent of Quack Pack. Stop taking notes, Disney! Haha, I'm still gonna make it. We see one of our leads is named Fred, played by thank God I went to that Westworld audition, James Marsden, who introduces the idea that he is somehow the next Easter Bunny.
Hi, I'm Fred O'Hare, the first human Easter Bunny. Sounds insane, you say?
Well, hold a rally at Charlottesville, you anti-Humite garbage. Again, to the film's credit, this is kind of an inventive idea. A human being as an Easter Bunny has a lot of possibilities. And even with the lame pun setting of Easter Island. Get it? Because Christmas! The credits open with a lot of creative imagery, showing how preparing for Easter works. The current Easter Bunny shows his son, E.B., what's in store for his future. He's voiced by Hugh Laurie, which just reinforces that this is Arthur Christmas if its balls were cut off by Peter Rabbit.
Someday, this will all be yours.
What, the curtains? No, not the curtains, lad.
And hey, this is an Illumination movie. Shouldn't there be some obnoxious dick donut hole stealing way too much screen time?
Too long have we labored under the yoke of the Bunny's tyranny.
How do you think they come up with these inspired comedic designs? Yellow dot! Put a face on it. Brilliant! Orange dot! Put a face on it. Brilliant! Yellow dot again. Put a face on it. Brilliant!
Phil, too much mash, not enough mallow.
This is Carlos, a Hisp-Italian voiced by Hank Azaria.
Foggy times are lifting. Easter will be clear sailing, senor.
Well, start making this poster. You know we're going to have to deal with this movie in the near future. Carlos doesn't like the White Rabbit privilege and thinks he should be in charge. But that's not important right now as the Easter Bunny starts his deliveries around the world.
So that's why Dad told me to stay out of the medicine cabinet.
Years later, the boy grows up into James Marsden, playing a man named Fred O'Hare. His brother Bucky has some stories. He apparently still lives at home with his family.
How'd that job interview go?
Don't know if it's really what I'm looking for.
Did they pay money? Then it's exactly what you've been looking for.
Look, you keep dying in franchises. You need backup employment! But it turns out this is an intervention by his family to try and kick him out and get a real job. Reminds me of dinners at my home.
You need to get a life. You need to get a job and you need to move out.
Sometimes I think you adopted me because Fred was such a disappointment.
Ha! It's like the ice storm, only somehow more depressing. At the same time, E.B. has grown up into everybody's favorite, well, somebody's favorite hair clog, Russell Brand, who actually does a passable job as this character, but whose voice is so recognizable you can't help but imagine what the real Russell Brand would say in a lot of these scenarios.
No, Dad, I don't want to be the Easter Bunny.
You're about to be crowned the Easter Bunny in front of 3,000 of your peers.
When I was a crack and heroin addict, I made some unusual decisions. They included dressing in an inappropriate way on September the 11th. Now, before I talk about this, remember, I was on crack and heroin.
E.B. doesn't want to be the Easter Bunny because of the pressure of being too perfect. Again, Russell Brand was cast in this role, so he's clearly not going to achieve that. So he runs away through a magical door to Hollywood, where Fred gets done packing his emotional baggage.
Fred, wait.
You should know they did adopt your younger sister because they were ashamed of you. His older sister gives him a lead to a good job at a nearby mansion while E.B. looks for a place to stay. At the Playboy House. God, these Russell Brand jokes really do write themselves, don't they?
Let's never destroy a marriage unless you're really bored. Pop yourself down on my knee and see if we can't get you pregnant.
E.B. literally bumps into Fred, who realizes there's only one way to put him and the audience out of its misery.
Don't you worry, little friend. I'm gonna end your suffering.
Ha! Remember when your dad hit that cute animal, kids? Now you know this also probably happened. Hop. E.B. talks and Frank can't believe his eyes.
Who said that?
Your latest victim? I could just maybe come and live with you for a couple of months.
You know why I can't take this bunny seriously? Outside of that, he looks so generic and uninteresting, I keep expecting him to sell me car insurance at any moment. So if you want to save 15% by switching to Geico, do the Gecko dance down to your nearest location. Here's a talking hamburger the animator did in his spare time. I'm gonna get my own movie and/or TV show too. He is. Not real. No, don't go in the X-Mansion. Only Wolverine is there and he hates you.
I'm E.B. And you are?
E.B. explains that he's hungry, but Fred doesn't know what to feed him.
Is there something you'd rather eat, you weird little thing?
But well,
You want to eat rabbit? Fred tries to get rid of him, but E.B. tries playing up a guilt trip.
Do you want me to look for some baby aspirin?
No, you save it. You might run over a baby.
Ha! Now you're thinking about babies getting run over. Ha.
This is a place for you to stay.
Oh, I understand. I'll just sleep down here, among my poo and pee.
Okay, I better do a count of lines we all know the real Russell Brand said.
So good night.
Fred lets E.B. spend the night while his father sends out the Pink Berets. They try to track E.B. down, and I'm not gonna lie, these things are damn adorable. But that could be because they never talk, in comparison to this walking 90s ad that forgets this all takes place in the early 2010s.
I am the
Extreme Rock Master!
Come on, I was gonna play Extreme Pogs next.
Hey, Fred, what's wrong? You look a bit put out.
You've destroyed the place!
I wouldn't say destroy it. I was just getting comfortable. That jacuzzi loosened me right up.
It looks like E.B. uses too many bubbles in the hot tub though, and yeah, I haven't seen this before.
My sister's gonna kill me!
You know what this film is? It's a bad school cafeteria of bland scenes you've seen a million times in other movies. Fred decides he's had enough of Peter Cotton Twat and decides to put him in a box and get rid of him. Tell me about the Lennies, George.
All right, come on, out. We're releasing you into the wild.
No, put the bunny back in the box and throw him off a cliff.
But I want to stay with you. Oh, come on, man.
Put the bunny back in the box.
I'll behave. I'll clean up my mess. I'll do the dishes.
Put the bunny back in the box.
But no, he lets him stay because he can do this.
What are you doing?
See?
Jelly beans?
Ha! The jelly beans you've been eating all these years are shit! Shit! Ha!
So what? So you talk and you poop candy?
Trust me, you don't want to know how he makes Reese's Feces. Fred finally puts together that he's the Easter Bunny. You know, he confused him for all the other talking rabbits he came across in his life.
Why are you here now?
Oh, just doing a little last-minute recon for Easter deliveries. Finding ideal egg hiding locations. Oh, there's one, that's perfect.
This is starting to look like one of those films you see mocked in other films. Like they look real, but they're just too lame to actually exist. You know, like George Simmons in Merman, or Jeff Portnoy in The Fatties, or Will Smith in Aladdin.
I have a job interview. You're staying here.
But here's boring.
So just do me a favor, wait in the car.
The Donkey Kong Country characters are close by, so E.B. hides in the building where Fred has his interview.
Fred?
Yes.
Ow!
Oh, this is great. We already know how Chelsea Handler and Russell Brand get along.
The way you're looking at me makes me want to cover up my vagina.
They told her he'd be in a recording studio, yet she still requested Mace.
Oh, are you writing a novel? What's that about?
A crippled soldier who, in the future, goes to another planet and he becomes one of the indigenous people who are blue and live in the forest.
That's not Avatar?
Not really.
That's funny. The actual pitch for Avatar went exactly the same way. It's about a modern person who befriends a tribe and finds that environment is good, but modern people are bad. That's not Dances with Wolves, Ferngully, Pocahontas, and a dozen after-school specials? Not really. Take all our money. Cool. How can you have LeFou and Prince Edward in the same scene and not have them kiss?
I smell potential.
I smell Disney's tight grip on you. EB stumbles into a recording booth that just happens to have a completely blind band called the Blind Boys of Alabama. Okay, if there's any good that came out of this movie, it's that forced me to Google this band to see if it exists. It does, and by God, I want to know their story. But we get a CG sock monkey playing with them, and I guess that's supposed to be just as gripping. Okay, it's cool seeing this kick-ass band play, but this scene is so awkward, I keep expecting it to be like a fake intro to the movie A Series of Unfortunate Events. You know, the one telling you this mindless, sappy bullshit isn't the actual film you're gonna watch.
I'm sorry to say that this is not the movie you will be watching. The movie you are about to see is extremely unpleasant.
The boys tell EB that David Hasselhoff is holding auditions to find new talent and that he should give it a shot.
Don't pull that with me, Rabbit, okay? You're destined to do something great, I just know it. You'll find an awesome job.
Hey, remember when they said this was gonna be about a man becoming the Easter Bunny? If that meant just sitting around and talking in cars, then Jerry Seinfeld and James Corden should be looking like Ralphie from A Christmas Story by this point!
Look, what about this? Dog walker? No. TSA officer?
No. I think I used to be quite lazy when I was signing on and taking drugs the whole time. Although being a drug addict can be quite taxing, because you have to get the money for the drugs, then you have to get the drugs. Both of those things can be troubling.
Tired of boring shots of just the two of them talking? Well, don't worry, here's a crane shot of the two of them talking! We needed a crane shot for that! This movie's almost halfway through and the imaginative wonderland we've been given is on par with my dinner with Andre!
The Hoff?
Yes, please.
You realize you can't talk.
I can.
No, what I mean is, you shouldn't talk.
Things Russell Brand hears for 500, Alex?
But from now on, especially not in front of other people. They might freak out and want to dissect your brain.
Dissect?
Oh, yeah, we gotta keep this a secret while we eat in a public restaurant by the window where dozens of onlookers can see you! Why are you constantly trying to suck out what little magic you have? Just give me something, anything associated with a magical Easter Bunny movie! So Fred goes to the mansion he's looking after, only to discover his sister is there.
Oh man, if she goes upstairs, I'm dead. Leave this to me. I'll smooth it out of her. Ow!
EB sneaks inside though and pretends to be a toy.
Oh, he's so soft.
Okay, that's technically not a line, but it's still something Russell Brand would do.
I don't think God would give you that body and then give you sort of morality.
Oh my God.
When you laugh like that, it makes me know what you'd sound like when you come.
Fred puts him inside a Japanese motel as his sister discovers his shit beans.
Don't eat that.
Fred, relax. Watermelon.
It tastes E. coli-ish, but it's still better than Harry Potter jelly beans. They go to the talent show where he keeps EB hidden in a bag only to have him come out and talk in front of everyone. This was written in a day.
Relax. I'll give you a good intro. I'll set you up and you knock him down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Fred.
No problem.
You think James Marsden meets up with Neil Patrick Harris once a year to share their war stories of working on Hop and Smurfs? The compromise is they meet on Easter, but they have to take a shot of something blue. Enjoy your meetups. I know you need them. EB performs in front of Hasselhoff, and he looks surprisingly composed, seeing how he's witnessing a bunny play the drums. How many drinks did he have before this? That explains it.
Stop! I don't want to hear anymore. I didn't like it. I loved it!
As they agreed on, Fred got EB the audition, so he agrees to leave.
You've done your part, and now I'm ready to get out of your life.
But it's interrupted by, hold on to your balls, another car scene!
I know we said we'd go our own separate ways, but please.
I'm convinced the car is gonna be the Easter Bunny by the end of this.
Here comes Peter Cottontail.
They go to his younger sister's play, but he's afraid he sees the pink berets when it turns out it wasn't them. But he's stuck up there, so they pretend it's a ventriloquist act and they sing I Want Candy. It sounds just as awful as it sounds. I'd much rather watch this creepy man interrupt a children's pageant rather than watch my child perform. I'm on so much weed! The look on Marsden's face as he tries to maintain any dignity in this scene is the same Margot Robbie had in I, Tonya when things were exploding out of control. Coincidence? I don't care. It's there.
Is this your new career? Upstaging grade schoolers with your ventriloquist puppet?
No. I got lots of other stuff going on.
Am I not supposed to side with the dad? Because I'm really siding with the dad.
Can you give me just one reason not to be disappointed?
Oh, come on. Nope, not a thing. This movie's terrible. I mean, didn't the little sister say she was really looking forward to it? The teacher picked her to be like the big singing role.
They usually cast a boy as Peter Cottontail, but they made an exception for me on account of my singing voice is so strong.
Oh. And yeah, for whatever reason her singing sucks, that doesn't really make sense, but why start now in this movie? Regardless, this asshole still comes up and just ruins her pageant. And he doesn't make it up to her or anything. She just has to live with it, and he's rewarded for some reason. This movie is just shit! Ha! You know what? Just hate everything. Like, everything, Hub. But Fred gets an idea all of a sudden.
Wait, is this where you tell me you want to see other rabbits? Because I'm open-minded, Fred.
Tonight, it just hit me.
I'm insane and I'm looking into rubber rooms.
I want to be the Easter Bunny.
So the moral, kids, if you can't find a job, you know, be a rabbit. E.B. doesn't want him to do it, though.
Come on, Fred, it doesn't make sense.
Until a moment later when he decides he does.
I've changed my mind. We're gonna do this.
Wow, that ran the emotional alphabet from A to A-. Insert embarrassing grown man montage here. Mr. Marsden, do you have kids? Do they go to school? They have to live with this. The Pink Berets find the mansion though, and E.B. tries to fool them by making it look like Fred cooked him before leaving him to the slaughter.
What about Fred? Oh, he'll be alright.
Humans can grow their testicles back, right? Actually, the more I look at them, the more they look like Officer Hops. And this is called Hop. What if this is all a prequel to Zootopia? Cute critters can talk, they get organized, they handle Easter, 12 Monkeys happens, and the animals rule the earth. Pieces were in front of us the whole time, we just really had to hate this movie to see them. They bring Fred back to Easter Island just at the time when Carlos decides to take over.
Pink Berets!
Now eat them until their insides are hollow! E.B. gets ready to go on stage where, yeah, I didn't think he could do a movie without shoving his face on screen.
It's E.B. Oh, alright, well, E.B., you wanted on stage in 2 minutes.
Is this like Time Cop where if they touch each other, they both explode? Can I see that unrated version, please? But the Hoff senses something is wrong.
How's my little guy?
You're not ready for Hop and Hoffenpfeffer with Hop and Hoff.
Fred could be in real trouble.
Now, I find a good...
No, it's not the jitters, David.
Why is he moving like a malfunctioning animatronic?
I find it...
It's not the jitters,
Go to him. Go to him.
E.B. returns, but the chicks attack him.
Fire at will!
That bird had the dead eyes of a psychopath. They are going to find body parts in his basket. Carlos uses the scepter to transform himself into a bunny. Look, there's actual focus on Easter now, I'll take it. As E.B. has the brilliant plan of outwitting the chicks by playing the drums.
Phil, knock it off! Phil!
Remember that Aerosmith game where they say music's the weapon? Well, this is nothing like that. It's Hop and it sucks. I guess getting the navigator to dance throws off the chicks' flight, causing them to crash. I know episodes of Word Girl that have more advanced strategies, but if we pretend we're having a good time, maybe they'll mercifully end early.
Dad, I'm ready.
The day is saved, and it's decided that both Fred and E.B. will make deliveries on Easter while E.B. continues to do his drumming.
By the power vested in me, I pronounce E.B. and Fred O'Hare
co-Easter bunnies.
They'll have an apartment in Boys Town, sing show tunes at bars, and watch endless hours of Antique Roadshow. So Fred shows off that he finally did something with his life. He says he's the Easter Bunny, but I think he's Zachary Hale Comstock building Columbia. See, Bioshock is in the sky, Zootopia is on the ground. It all connects!
Wow.
I still think you're an asshole for ruining my play, asshole. It's nice to know they forgave the chicks by enslaving them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, come on, Carlos. Put your back into it.
One little coup, and suddenly I'm everybody's chump.
Ha! It's the Civil War in reverse. This movie should have been a charming, cute adventure. I dare even say it was practically unavoidable. A man becoming the Easter Bunny promises a lot of timeless, creative imagination. But with the exception of the first few minutes, it's dated, boring tedium. Nothing is funny, nothing is clever, there's not even much that's very colorful. It's just pointless musical numbers, bland scenarios, and blasé dialogue. I hope more Easter Bunny movies are made, not so we can have more like this, but so they can help us forget what is already pretty forgettable. And I still stand by the only reason anyone remembers it is because it's the only one. When you want to see a film that represents the magic and wonder of Easter, you can rest assured it's a million hops and skips away from this.